Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another prediction video. All right, y'all, just want to narrow it down here. Go ahead and, condense it down from the live stream just in case y'all missed my pick. But also after watching the weigh-ins and the face-off, I was like, oh, man, like I'm even more so hyped, just seeing Miranda Maverick and Erin Blanchfield step it up like that. No handshake. As soon as they both got off the scale, Miranda got off the scale. No handshake. She had her arms folded, and she was just staring her opponent down. After the stare down was finished, they just separated and walked off. And I was like, oh man, like that's just what I like. Like, there's no like bad blood, like they're pissed off at each other. Like, there's no beef there, but it's just letting you know that they both know what's riding on this fight. And look, we can be friendly after. This is all business, right? So yeah, man. Like I said, this is like one of the best unranked flyweight fights they can make. It's probably one of the best technical fights as well. Like, you really don't see that many unranked fighters with the type of skill sets they have. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the ones that are coming in, they still are green. But the thing is, like, Miranda and Erin, while, they were waiting on that call from the UFC, they've been growing. They've been growing in every discipline possible that they could, work on. They've been improving in so many things. That's why they're coming in well-rounded. And they're coming in with more skills to use than some of these other fighters, aside from like Manon. Manon, to me, is that other well-rounded fighter. But some of these other ones on the lower level that are unranked, they really don't have these type of skill sets. Like, you can almost call like what they're going to do in a fight. But like with Miranda and Erin, I don't know. That's why I'm torn on this fight. I don't know, because Miranda, she could take it to the ground or she could win on the feet. Same for Erin. You know what I mean? Either one of these fighters could submit the other or knock the other out. I think the possibility is there for either fighter, depending on what tool they choose to use, So very good technical fight. And, it's definitely one that, like I was telling y'all, is closer than you think. The polls are lying on this one. Usually the polls don't lie, but unless it's Nunes' opinion, then they don't lie. But the polls definitely don't lie. The polls definitely lie on this one because, Miranda is the favorite, but I know what Erin is capable of, just seeing her on the come up. But with that being said, there's a lot, that Miranda's already experienced that's going to come into handy going into this fight. So for Miranda, I think for her in this fight, she's already faced some fighters that want to walk her down and put the punches to her, and, really put the pressure on her. I think she's experienced that with Jojo and Barber, so in this fight going against, a pressure fighter, somebody who's a little bit taller, that, that can throw the kicks, throw the punches, I think Miranda needs to use angles in this fight. Be smart with the angles, take her head off the line, and set up the check right hook, off the southpaw stance, set up the check right hook, throw the jab down the pipe, and keep that straight left hand in the face of Erin Blanchfield to keep her honest, because if Erin decides to fight mid-range or apply pressure and throw a lot of punches, I can see Miranda Maverick capitalizing, being a counter-striker in this fight. Honestly, I see her being that counter-striker because out of her 3 fights, I've already seen her decide to, use lateral movement when it came down to it. Use lateral movement, take her head off the line, like I said, and just kind of slip and jab, slip and jab, and even, throw those nice elbows up the middle whenever a fighter's oncoming. So that's what she needs to do to a pressure fighter. Let that pressure fighter put some of that momentum behind it, and they'll carry a lot of that behind it. Like, you don't even have to throw the hardest punches. You let them come forward, let them bring that pressure, and then you meet them halfway, and boom, they're bringing most of the damage themselves because they're walking right into punches. So if you get them to walk into it, it's going to be a lot of damage there. So I think Miranda just need to kind of play counter striker here, let Erin come in, because Erin, the last fight, didn't really take her head off the line. She was getting hit. It was just the fact that Alpar couldn't handle the pressure. So to relieve that pressure, you got to use a lot of angles. Body kicks, body work. Erin is going to be coming in to slow her down and to throw off the headshots. Got to work the body. I think Miranda Maverick has very good kicks to the body, side kicks. They got Liana Jojo honest. They took the steam out of Macy Barber early, so body, legs, just switch it up, combination up top and end it with a leg kick or a body. But you want to definitely chop that foundation down for Miranda. Clinch work. I think Miranda, though she's about an inch shorter And Erin, it does look a little bit bigger because she was about to go up to 135 for her debut. Maybe she is a little bit wider. I think that Miranda's physically stronger for flyweight. You know, she's just naturally stronger, muscular. You know, her muscles do translate to strength for her. You know, she has the farm girl strength. So to nullify a lot of that pressure in that mid-range fighting, clinches. You know, a lot of clinches and inside dirty boxing there. You know, use that as a time to rest instead of, you know, trying to stay on the bike and, you know, pick his shots, stick and move and do all this running, you know, in the octagon. You want to just stay on the inside and just clinch, get that clinch control and just win rounds that way as well. Last thing I'll say is, you know, be unpredictable with takedowns, you know, get the takedowns if you really start to fluster Erin, you know, because Erin, again, she's a black belt BJJ, and going down to the ground with her is kind of dangerous, I think. You know, dangerous on both sides, kind of like Mackenzie Dern versus Verna Jandiroba. Neither one of them really wanted to go for the takedown, so we saw kind of a striking match, which you might see here, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But I think that Miranda, being more unpredictable, she could just secure rounds by, you know, getting the trip and the takedown and, you know, just controlling top position for, like, you know, the last minute or so, 30 seconds, just to really secure the round like Manon did in her last fight. You know, be unpredictable. But Erin, I think for Erin going into this fight, you know, she has to use timing. You know, I think Miranda's a little bit more faster and athletic. So timing is going to have to be something here. You know, she's going to have to get the timing down to Miranda when Miranda comes in with straight shots, you know, fully extend those punches to get the respect of her, you know, overwhelm her with combinations. And I think Erin, you know, is going to be able to offset that pace if she starts to land, you know, in bunches. You know, if she lands in bunches, you know, you might see her backing Miranda up. That's why I say Miranda has used angles. You know, if she put that pressure on at mid-range and she starts landing right down the pipe, you know, that's going to be her best bet, you know, to really take the steam out of Miranda early. And, you know, that's what you want to do against the faster fighter. You know, use your timing and walk them down and take the steam out with combinations, you know, to set up, even like, you know, just to use that jab as a range fighter to set up that head kick. You know, I think that going into the fight, I'd say the faster fighter, the more precise fighter would be Miranda, but I think the harder hitter would be Erin in this one. I think Erin's going to be a bit of the harder puncher because she does come forward and fully extend her shot. So that's going to be Erin's, you know, to overwhelm, get this fight down to the ground. You know, she's a mauler. I think Erin's a mauler. You know, she could use that size. And again, like I said, her being a black belt, that's going to come into play. So, you know, switch it up on Miranda, you know, before Miranda can adapt. You know, she's going to have to switch her game up and take this fight down to the ground and look to try to maul and put the pressure on like she did against a big fighter in Sarah Alpar. But yeah, that's like the main things I think for Erin going into this fight. You know, always, you know, keep the jab in the face of the fighter that's trying to, you know, stay on the outside. Just keep that jab to blind those head kicks that come from Erin Blanchfield. And for Erin Blanchfield, you know, I think her head kicks are, you know, really, really deadly too. You know, I think she's been getting better. Like, she's been throwing them a lot, and she's really been able to keep good range with them. And she knows her range with how that, you know, leg can just like reach up and connect so easy, you know. Just looking back at that Victoria Leonardo fight. But with that being said, I think this is going to be a very good, highly technical fight. And I think both fighters are really going to show a lot of respect to each other. That's why it's hard to see a stoppage in this fight, because both of these fighters know what each other is capable of, because they could have fought, like I said, a couple years back in Invicta. And like I said, when fighters have when fighters have a lot of tools in their belt, you know, you're facing somebody with a lot of tools and you have a lot of tools, there's going to be a lot of respect there, you know, because they don't know what to expect in a fight. You know, they really don't know what to expect. That's why I said, like, this fight could play out like Verna versus Mackenzie. You know, this fight could play out like Verna versus Mackenzie, where you thought this fight was going to possibly go to the ground at some point, but it never really did, right? You see, it stayed on the feet. Both of them chose to strike. They just said, okay, we're going to work on our striking in this fight. You know, Mackenzie wanted to throw her punches. Verna wanted to work on her striking. Neither one of them said we're going to make this a grappling match, because they kind of canceled each other out. So same thing might happen here. You know, Miranda's a brown belt. Erin's a black belt. They might say, let's forget that. Let's turn this thing into a kickboxing match. So you might get that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of respect that's going to be shown here. I expect to go to the to the cards. Miranda to me has to get she has to get an early start. Adapt early. Pick up a lead in the first round like I think she can do, and then go into the second round and keep that lead and try to adapt to that kickboxing style and that pressure of Erin Blanchfield. Take the steam out of her. But like I said, if Miranda doesn't move her head enough, she might get overwhelmed in like the first couple rounds, and you never know how this fight could go down to that third round. I mean, like I could see both of them really going at it in that third round, especially Erin. She lives up to that cold-blooded name. She definitely does. But with that being said, my pick hasn't changed. Just in case y'all haven't heard live stream, I'm still going with Miranda Maverick by split decision or close decision in this one. I think she'll get the lead early in this fight, and she'll use her experience. Her experience is going to come into play. So I'm basing this off of experience and tools in this fight, okay? I'm basing this off of somebody who's already been there 3 times in the UFC, had 3 tough opponents in Jojua, Robertson, and Barber. I still think she won that Barber fight. And she's had to use a little bit of everything. She's been in trouble in, the Barber fight a little bit, and you saw her keep her cool. So I think you'll see her do that again, and she knows what to expect. She's been studying Erin Blanchfield for a while now. She's been studying Erin since Invicta FC, and I'm sure the same can be said for Erin. But like I said, Erin, I think she just needs to get a little bit more experience under her belt, as far as UFC. And she won't look bad in this fight. It's definitely not going to be like a L for her. It's going to be a learning experience, if she comes up short in this fight. But I think Miranda will be able to do it. I think she has maturity, and she has the tools that she's going to need for this fight. So, yeah, still going with Miranda by close decision, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.